As the population continues to grow here in the inland Northwest, so does the problem of homelessness.
Absolutely. Over the last several years, the city of Spokane and the state have poured millions of dollars into possible solutions. So tonight, as part of our ongoing Boomtown coverage, we're taking a closer look at the money that's been spent and if it's making a difference.
It has become the symbol of homelessness in Spokane, a sprawling camp of tents and broken down RVs along I-90 known as Camp Hope.
I sure hope this camp is closed before the end of 2023.
What started as a protest last winter took on a life of its own on Department of Transportation land, but within city limits. And homeless advocates like Jules Helping Hands say the process to move people into more permanent housing is a slow one.
There's nowhere for them to go. If we don't start housing them, the numbers just increase every single year.
But the city hit a setback last week when the Hope House Women's Shelter announced it would be forced to close at the end of January because of a lack of funding.
Unfortunately, the need is great and the funds weren't there.
It means more than 80 women currently staying at the shelter will be forced elsewhere, and up to 35 employees could also be left without a job.
What is your biggest worry come January 31st?
Well, that we'd close and that not all of our women will have a safe place to go.
But city leaders say there may still be hope for Hope House as the 2023 budget is still being finalized. Meantime, homeless advocates across the city believe as Spokane's population continues to boom and the homeless population right along with it, city leaders will need to start focusing more on long-term housing solutions instead of just shelter beds. Still, the brand new Trent Avenue shelter is filling a need for nightly bed space. It's also now being touted as a resource center, a model city leaders are borrowing from Houston, Texas.
They move people indoors into a navigation center with the expectation that you're going to be assessed there, you're going to be connected to services, and that is where you wait out your housing options. And it's a much better plan than leaving them in an encampment out in the middle of a field in our winter months.
But despite the new shelter, Camp Hope remains. The mayor says DOT's refusal to clear it has cost taxpayers more than $500,000 in garbage cleanup, private security, and police overtime.
We've spent now over $600,000 on their property and the impact the activity on their property is having on the neighborhood and on businesses.
And that's not the only money being spent. Earlier this year, state legislators approved $144 million specifically to tackle homelessness in state-owned right-of-ways, like this one where Camp Hope now sits. Of the $25 million allocated to Spokane County, $14 million went to the Catholic Charities Catalyst Transitional Housing Project at the Old Quality Inn on Sunset Hill. Empire Health received almost $3.5 million for services at Camp Hope and assessments to get people staying there into permanent housing. That includes $1 million that went to Jules Helping Hands. And the city of Spokane is also in talks with Commerce to finalize $1.5 million for 30 beds at the new Trent shelter, although the mayor says at least one request to pay for improvements like indoor bathrooms, showers, and kitchen space was denied.
Are we working well enough with Commerce to be able to take advantage of those dollars?
Well, we're working with Commerce every week.
They have been critical of Spokane, though, in how the city has addressed some of these issues.
What I find interesting about that question, though, is that Commerce hasn't been critical of any other city outside of Spokane and hasn't blamed any city outside of Spokane for their homeless issue based on an administration or a mayor.
So why is that then, do you think?
I think it's political.
The mayor is also critical of who is getting a piece of that Commerce funding.
I think it's interesting to note that Jules Helping Hands is the nonprofit that started the protest against the city for not having enough low barrier beds, and now they're benefiting from that protest by getting $1 million from Commerce.
The city has criticized you for starting this as a protest in the first place. They have criticized you for getting a contract with Commerce. What do you say to that?
The same thing I say always. I've been doing this forever. Like, this is what I do. If I had a magic wand and could just wave it over everything, I'd take the homeless services out of control of the city and put it in control of a nonprofit like the Houston model, where It doesn't change with every political climate.
In the meantime, as 2022 winds down and 2023 draws closer, all sides agree Spokane needs more housing at every level to fully address homelessness. But for that, they know there is no easy answer.
Now, I did reach out to the Department of Commerce with the mayor's claim that the city is being treated differently for political reasons. I just got a response here within the last hour saying Spokane is not being singled out. We are doing this work in 5 counties and multiple communities, and challenges exist everywhere. What is unique about Spokane, they say, is that its encampment on state right-of-way is the largest in the state, which makes it an exceptional challenge.
All right, Whitney, thank you very much. And tomorrow we continue our Boomtown series. With all the growth that we are seeing, it often comes with growing pains like increased crime. Property crimes like car thefts and break-ins are on the rise all over Spokane, but especially in downtown Spokane.
I've had a couple times, actually, a couple different occasions where my back window has been busted out. I've had to replace it.
So tomorrow on Up with Krem, our Channing Curtis is digging deeper by taking a look at the numbers and finding out what Spokane police are doing to stop these types of crimes. But right now, we want you to weigh in. Has your car been broken into in Spokane, especially in downtown Spokane? Just text us the word break-in, all one word, to that number, 509-448-2000, and we'll send you a link to our Krem 2 poll, and we'll share the results on that poll Thursday on Up with Krem.